Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another CSGO News episode. It's been a crazy week. Of course, if you guys are watching the CSGO Major, it's been insane so far. If you guys are still doing your pick'ems, I hope you all have at least a chance at a silver or gold. I still have a chance at a gold trophy, so I can't complain. I know a lot of you haters out there. If you saw my pick'em video, you guys, I'm going to discuss this later on. You guys know I warned you about the Navi big matchup, but I picked big with my heart. So I actually have a chance, though, with that gold trophy if Astralis wins it all. But again, our first story, though, of course, let's get into it, guys. And as always, all of today's stories are timestamped down below. But in breaking news out there, no one saw it coming. Fnatic has now announced for ESL New York, our next biggest premier tournament out there, a stand-in with Scream, which we never thought was going to be. And even further than that, guys, even more so unexpected, Flusha has officially been benched. If you guys have seen the tweet so far, it does seem by the connotation he is not coming back to this roster. Of course, they will have a stand-in player for a short amount of time, whether it's going to be Scream in the future. But again, if you guys not only look at Flusha's tweets as well as Scream's tweets, as well as JW talking about Scream, it does sound that the stand-in might be, of course, not a permanent role. They're going to probably search for other players out there, but it does sound like the benching of Flusha is permanent. It sounds like he's going to go play somewhere else, whether it's an international roster, a lower tier Swedish roster, we have no idea. And again, this is a huge, of course, dramatic event because no one saw it coming. There were no leaks of this. We also have Scream joining, actually leaving the French scene for the first time in nearly 4 years. And even bigger news, it's going to be Flusha possibly playing with a non-Swedish lineup for the first time in 6 years. That is insane to say, guys. And I also cannot wait for this. I know a lot of people out there thought, okay, Fnatic. After this, of course, we saw many matchups out there, many tweets about this. People wanting Draken to be replaced, their main opper right now currently, and people thought there was a bunch of options out there, especially in the European scene, for potential oppers to replace him, and they thought they were dead set on him being replaced, which I still think is certainly a possibility. But going forward, this makes me think, again, Flusha being one of their dominant players in the lineup, at least in my own opinion. I don't know what you guys think about this. It almost makes me think it was his decision, of course, maybe not seeing a future with Fnatic, and he decided to leave. We have no confirmation about that, but as of right now for ESL New York, it will be Scream in place of Flusha on Fnatic. I never thought I'd be saying those words. And also in somewhat big news, which you guys might not care about, but I care about because he is my Twitter profile background header picture for a reason. That's actually Boombl, otherwise known as Boomich out there. It's actually Winstrike, and I respect this move. If you guys have not seen this, they remove all 4 of their players. Besides, though, Boomich remains on that roster. They remove the entire roster, guys, 4 of their 5 members, besides just Boomich, from that roster completely. So I actually really respect this move. Of course, if you guys did watch the Major, which I'm sure many of you guys did, Winstrike was by far and away, despite a close overtime matchup on Inferno against Cloud9, they were obviously the worst talent we have seen in a Major ever since Splice made their qualifying run out of nowhere. So not to jab at anyone, but still, they definitely did not deserve to be in a Major, and their CEO does not mess around, guys. Obviously understanding that this team has no future, maybe at least trying to compete at this kind of level again, he drops the entire roster except for their best player, that being Boomich. So much respect to Winstrike. I do feel, of course, bad for the guys just being picked up and rebranded, of course, from that QBF and now to Winstrike, and now they're without a team, but still definitely a move in the right direction. I am very curious to see who they pick up in place of them, and again, results-wise, that team did nothing besides get a lucky qualifier spot for the Major. They lose no spots out there, and only up from here, I guess I could say, for Winstrike. I also feel the need to keep you guys updated on this as well. We also have Nell, who broke this story about a month and a half ago anyway, but I'll kind of a reversion of this as well, a re-update for all of you guys. The Vitality signing is even closer than before, so it should be happening by the end of September or sometime during October. There's no confirmed date right now, but Vitality has been confirmed as the organization to pick up the next best French team, and I'm going to keep to my word out there. A lot of you guys are G2 fans. When I first said this about a month and a half to 2 months ago, that this new French roster could easily compete with the current French super team, that being G2, and I'm definitely going to stick to my word on that one, guys. MBK, Apex, Happy, ZywOo, and alongside them, guys, RPK, which again, it's going to be a weird roster, especially with ZywOo coming up a huge jump in talent, who he's going to be playing against. He's used to those tier 2, tier 3, if you want to actually classify his tiers. He plays against teams that you have never heard of and never will, and he does very well against them, so it's going to be very interesting to see. He is definitely the oddball on that team. No matter how many of you guys want to say Happy's going to be the kind of the changer on that team, if they can actually get along with Happy, and again, MBK taking the IGL roles and the reins over there, he's going to be the decision maker. It's going to be between, I think, Happy and ZywOo, who's going to actually carry this team in the right direction. And again, you still have many players out there like Kiyoshima, like Scream. Scream still has potential to join this team no matter what in the future if he wants to come back to playing with French teams out there. But the Vitality signing of the next best French super team is very, very close. And of course, very lastly, I want you guys to know tomorrow after the major finals, we're going to break down everything, of course, overview the entire major, the big upsets, the big big surprises over there. There's going to be a lot happening in tomorrow's episode, and of course, I cannot wait for it. It's going to be so amazing. And so far, throughout playoffs, I know we have my pick'ems. I'll show you guys my picks again somewhere on screen. I know what I did against Big and Na'Vi was probably a dumb move. I made sure to reiterate that on Twitter as well as my YouTube comments, and even in the video itself, I told you guys you should probably choose Na'Vi. I really wanted to make that choice, and again, I would have stuck with my heart no matter what. I did choose Big to, of course, beat Na'Vi, and that was the biggest, it's been confirmed, guys, the biggest one-sided playoff matchup in Major history, besides one match, I believe, back in 2014 with Fnatic. So it was the largest one-sided match in Major history. Yes, it was very ugly if you guys did watch. It was, of course, first Big's pick on Dust. They got beat 16-2, and then 16-6 on Nuke. It was an utter breakdown of the roster, and I'm going to stick to what I said on Twitter, guys. The big question now going forward is because before this Major, we had some rumors out there about potentially a stir-up on the Big squad, that being Smooya possibly wanting to leave for other offers out there, and he is definitely an opper. Think about this, guys. He is an opper, UK opper playing for an all-German roster. What is the difference between him playing with all Germans and maybe even all Swedes? He definitely has offers out there, potential out there to join other teams, and this level of embarrassment, I maybe did not choose the right wording there, but this level of embarrassment, because although a great performance, they earned themselves, that being Big, a spot at the next Major, this is an embarrassing knockout, and again, he already had some sort of turmoil or issues with that team. If he was not being convinced enough to actually stay on this roster before this Major, this might have been the final pin in the coffin to send Smooya somewhere else if they're going to offer him enough money, because throughout those best of ones, he was the best player, the single most best player ratings-wise at the Major. So he did show up very big before the best of three. I think the entire team struggled during those best of three against Na'Vi, but still a big question going forward, guys. Is Smooya going to stay with that roster? And we're going to find out, I'm sure, very soon here. Now, Na'Vi looked very dominant themselves. Of course, I'm going to say this so many times, led by Symbol, led by Electronic, and they're looking very dominant. I cannot see them losing to MIBR. MIBR, to no surprise, took down Complexity. I think just the better North American team. When you match up those, again, they're both North American teams, and you match up the talent, eye for eye, there's just no comparison. So that was no surprise. A 2-0 sweep there, but again, map 2, I believe, on Inferno was a lot closer than we thought it was going to be. So Complexity put up a great fight, and again, they're a legendary team, and that is more than you could ask for when this actual Major started. And then we had Liquid take down HR. Again, they beat them 2-1. It went to map 3 on Cash, but again, I think it was a lot closer than the scoreline preluded. I think it was 16-5 or 16-6. It looked pretty bad, but there was always these moments, no matter what, even though HR had no firm footing on Cash, it felt like a very close matchup compared to the scoreline. Either way, though, Liquid, to no surprise, still looking very dominant throughout their best of ones and this best of three. Everyone, I think, really pretty much expected them to go through over HR, who had a lot of overtime matchups, was not expected to come away with that one. And also, very lastly, the match we had today, Astralis and FaZe. Now, this is actually a matchup, historically speaking, FaZe has been favored in the past, but again, throughout this Major, we saw a lot of holes in the game for FaZe Clan. Astralis do 2-0 them, although, again, some closer maps. The first map, especially on Mirage, Astralis, I believe, they had a CT side. I think it was 11-4, and they almost blew that lead, or maybe it was 10-5, 11-4. They almost blew that on their T side, but just actually wrapped it up 16-14, and then take the series itself. So again, no huge surprises. Actually, when you look at the board itself, it was actually all dominant picks did go forward. So for all of you guys who are going for the gold trophy, pick them out there. You definitely have a great shot. And again, like I said before, I did have Big making it through all the way to the finals. I had Big if they beat Na'Vi, then they obviously would beat MIBR. Unfortunately enough, guys, Na'Vi, of course, take them down. But either way, I had Astralis winning it all. So I actually do have a chance at the gold pick'em. If Astralis beat Liquid, then beat Na'Vi in the finals, which I'm going to assume Na'Vi is going to take care of MIBR quite handedly. Again, anything can happen. But either way, if Astralis win it all, guys, I do get my gold trophy. And for that reason only, I'm going to be cheering for Astralis the rest of the Major. I know you guys might hate on me because I'm from North America, not cheering for Liquid. I do think, though, the best team here is going to be Astralis over Na'Vi in the finals. But let me know what you guys think. Obviously, the matches are going on right now as we speak. I cannot wait. It's been a great Major so far, and hopefully a great Major even soon. But also a reminder, guys, the sticker sale should start on Sunday, right after the Major does conclude. So get ready to buy those stickers up, guys, for 75% off. So hope you guys all enjoy. As always, my name is Jake. I will see you all back here Sunday with a Major breakdown. Hope you guys all enjoy your weekend. I'll see you then. Goodbye.